and this is my ticket to get on.
Oh, you ready, Kiana? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Ready?
It's a choo-choo with stunning views and rivals all the rest, but you won't ever see it advertised. It's a simple fact we stay on track, though sometimes we get rest.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's cold.
Oh yeah. I know it's chilly, right?
Oh, yeah.
Super chilly.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. You're gonna need a sweater on top of that.
Man, oh, man.
Welcome aboard, young man. We've been expecting you.
You have?
Is this you?
Yes.
Well then, good thing you decided to climb aboard.
Guys,
Ticket,
that's the person
please.
from the movie.
I'm not sure I have a ticket.
Try your pocket.
There's nothing in this pocket. There's a hole in it.
Try your other pocket.
Oh, remember this part in the movie?
Thank you, sir.
I remember this part in the movie.
This stamp. It looks like a letter. But what does it mean?
Nothing I need to know. Take your seat, young man.
Well, hello there, everyone. Now, how many of you can seize me?
I remember him.
Raise your hands if you can seize me. Well, maybe some of you can and some of you can't, but one thing is for sure, seeing is believing, am I right? Sure I am. Seeing is believing, but sometimes the most real things in the world are
He's been in
things
the movie also.
we can't see. Oh, where are my manners? For those of you who can seize me, allow me to introduce myself. I am the proud owner of this train. It's like I'm the king of the train, the king of the Polar Express. So I hops aboard this rattler anytime I feels like it, and I like to meet the Polex passengers because I'm very curious to see those golden tickets of yours, if you don't mind. For those of you who has a golden ticket, hold them up in the air for me. Hold them up high. What a beautiful sight. Those are official, authentic, genuine tickets to ride. I'd keep those in a safe place if I was you. Those was given to all of yous. Hold on tight to those golden tickets. Those was given to you guys for a very special reason, all right? All right. Welcome to the Polar Express.
Your attention, please. Are there any Polar Express passengers in need of refreshment?
Hold on tight to that ticket.
I thought so. Anyone for hot chocolate?
you. Hold back to me.
Say, these were some pretty good impressions. Well, let me ask you something. What exactly is your persuasion on the big man? Since you brought him up, yous all sounded like him, but do you really believe?
Well, I want to believe, but
Ah, yes. You. Would you mind repeating that?
I said I want to believe, but
But it's all a bunch of humbug. It's a bout of indigestion. You're a doubter. You don't want to be conned or duped. You don't want to be bamboozled, railroaded. Seeing is believing, am I right? Right. Well, remember, kids, sometimes the most real things in the world are the things we can't see.
wait, can you tell me about my ticket?
What about it?
There's something stamped on it.
Let me see here. Ah, yes. Looks like a letter to me.
But what does it mean?
Nothing I need to know. Let me ask you something, kid. What do you hear?
I don't hear anything.
Let me ask all of yous who can seize me. Raise your hands if you can hear something. Nobody hears nothing. Well, I'd hold on tight to those golden tickets if I was you. This is your crucial year.
Young man, why aren't you seated?
I was just talking to the king of the Polar Express.
I'm sorry, help.
He's right there.
I don't see anyone.
He's right there, pretending to be Santa Claus.
No, I don't see anyone. I don't hear anything. Wait, I do hear something. It's a bell. Someone's shaking the bell.
You can hear his bell.
Whose bell? Young man, I think it's best you come with me.
This is really cool.
Diane, Sam, this really is a magic train. Look what I found. It's my favorite story. Can we read it?
Let's ask our passengers. Who would like to hear Adam's favorite story?
Do you guys want?
Well then, we proudly present to you The Polar Express by Chris Van Allsburg.
Oh, it really is my favorite story.
On Christmas Eve, many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I was listening for a sound. A sound a friend had told me I'd never hear. The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There is no Santa, my friend had insisted, but I knew he was wrong. Late that night, I did hear sounds, though not of ringing bells. From outside came the sounds of hissing steam and squeaking metal. I looked through my window and saw a train standing perfectly still in front of my house. It was wrapped in an apron of steam. Snowflakes fell lightly around it. A conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest, then looked up at my window. I put on my slippers and robe. I tiptoed downstairs and out the door. All aboard! The conductor cried out. I ran up to him. Well, he said, are you coming? Where? I asked. Why, to the North Pole, of course, was his answer. This is the Polar Express. I took his outstretched hand and he pulled me aboard. The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas carols and ate candies with nougat centers as white as snow. We drank hot cocoa as thick and rich as melted chocolate bars. Outside, the lights of towns and villages flickered in the distance as the Polar Express raced northward. Soon, there were no more lights to be seen. We traveled through cold, dark forests where lean wolves roamed, and white-tailed rabbits hid from our train as it thundered through the quiet wilderness. We climbed mountains so high it seemed as if we would scrape the moon. But the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster we ran along, rolling over peaks and through valleys like a car on a roller coaster. The mountains turned into hills, the hills to snow-covered plains. We crossed a barren desert of ice, the great polar ice cap. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like the lights of a strange ocean liner sailing on a frozen sea. "There," said the conductor, "is the North Pole." The North Pole. It was a huge city standing alone at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first, we saw no elves. "They are gathering at the center of the city," the conductor told us. "That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas." "Who receives the first gift?" we all asked. The conductor answered, "He will choose one of you." "Look," shouted one of the children, "the elves!" Outside, we saw hundreds of elves. As our train drew closer to the center of the North Pole, we slowed to a crawl. So crowded were the streets with Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express could go no farther, we stopped, and the conductor led us outside. We pressed through the crowd to the edge of a large open circle. In front of us stood Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were excited. They pranced and paced, ringing the silver sleigh bells that hung from their harnesses. It was a magical sound, like nothing I'd ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart, and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us and, pointing to me, said, "Let's have this fellow here." He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee, and he asked, "Now, what would you like for Christmas?" I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine. But the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. Then he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's harness. The elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood, holding the bell high above him, and called out, "The first gift of Christmas!" A clock struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Santa handed the bell to me, and I put it in my bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeers' names and cracked his whip. His team charged forward and climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us, then disappeared into the cold, dark polar sky. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa Claus's sleigh. "Let's hurry outside and look for it," one of the children said. But the train gave a sudden lurch and started moving. We were on our way home. It broke my heart to lose the bell. When the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. "What?" I yelled out. He cupped his hands around his mouth. "Merry Christmas!" he shouted. The Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents. when it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last small box behind the tree. It had my name on it. Inside was the silver bell. There was a note. Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C. I shook the bell. It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. But my mother said, "Oh, that's too bad." "Yes," said my father, "it's broken." When I'm shaking the bell, my parents had not heard a sound. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe.
Wow, that really is my favorite story. Oh, I'm not sure what my favorite part is. Does anybody have a favorite part of that story? Yes, all right, I see a hand. And what's your favorite part of that story?
The end of the story.
The end of it? So, like when he gets the bell back, and then he still can hear it after all those years? Yeah, that's a great part. Anybody else have a favorite part of that story?
This bell is a wonderful symbol of the spirit of Christmas, as am I. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Better keep that in a safe place. Just remember, the true spirit of Christmas lies in your heart for all who truly believe. Ho, ho, ho!
One that looks like you. Very cool.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I do miss you so much. Are you having a good time? You enjoy the elves? There's no I'm in the back of the reindeer who fly all around and I never catch them. So, do you know what you want for Christmas? Can you tell me quickly in my ear? Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
For all who truly believe. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
Can you get one more picture? Jenna, come on.
The best time of the year, when everyone is home, with all this Christmas cheer, it's hard to be alone. Putting up the Christmas tree, with friends who come around, it's so much fun when Christmas comes to town.
Presents for the children, wrapped in red and green.
All the things I've heard about, but never really seen.
No one will be sleeping on the night of Christmas Eve, knowing Santa's on his way.
Alright, can we hear those bells that Santa gave you guys? Alright. old angels sing, I never hear a sound. But all the dreams of children, what's lost will all be found. That's all I want when Christmas comes to town. That's all I want when Christmas comes to town.
And then come up to me with 200 antlers. All right, let's introduce our Rudolphs. Can you tell everybody your name?
Right, is everybody warmed up?
Yeah.
Ready to sing? I want this to be the loudest car on the Polar Express.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright.
What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells away. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one-horse open sleigh.
Hey!
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go,
Laughing all the way.
Oh.
Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright.
what fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one-horse open sleigh.
Hey!
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one-horse open sleigh.
That sounds great, you guys. You know what? I think we should do another one.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it,
Say it low. Like a light bulb.
all of the other reindeer used to have his little names.
They never left
For Rudolph.
joining any
Reindeer game. That one shiny Christmas Eve. Santa came to town. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
Oh, he's a star.
All the other reindeer,
As they
let
shouted
it all in name. They love the
Red-nosed reindeer,
play the reindeer game.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw him, you would ever say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games.
Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?
And all the reindeer loved him as they shouted out with glee. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. That was wonderful, everybody. Happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Frosty the snowman was a fairy tale, they say. He was made of snow, but the children know how he came to life one
show us the bell that Santa gave you?
It's gone.
Well, what do you mean it's gone? What happened to it?
There's a hole in my pocket. I lost it. I lost the bell from Santa.
Don't worry, we'll find it.
Yeah, we'll help you find it. All of us. Hey, look!
I heard you lost something, young man, and Gianni here found this. Has your name on it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gianni. There's no greater gift than the gift of friendship. Now, who's it from?
Santa.
Really? What a beautiful bell.
There's a note.
And what does that note say?
Found this on one of the seats of this train. Better fix that hole in your pocket. Mr. C.
But how did Santa know?
One thing about trains, it doesn't matter where they're going. What matters is deciding to get on. Merry Christmas, passengers of the Polar Express!
Big things happen on the Polar Express. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all of you believers. Merry Christmas!
Ho, ho, ho. The end.
The end. And have yourself a merry little Christmas now. No, I don't see it. Where are you? Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I see it.